I want to speak from the perspective of my part-time job as the Director of International Agricultural Programs, which is now the CAFNR International Programs, and talk a little bit of an overview about some of the institutional engagement that we have had before some others, go into some more detail about some of the faculty engagement. But my handy opened with a number of questions, and I opened with a question, which was, how does this small player make a difference? Because we at Missouri are a big university, but we have a relatively small international program operation compared with some of our partners in other universities. And so in our efforts as the CAFNR International Programs is really to match faculty with opportunities and assist them to become engaged. So most of our engagement is in the nature of faculty-led initiatives that you will hear a lot more about. And what I would like to do is focus on some of the ways that we try to match faculty with opportunities. Building partnerships one person at a time, and later on it's more than one person. But let's begin with Borlaug Fellows in the Global Alliance, which is a program that most of you, I hope, are well familiar with, but it brings scholars here for 2 months, and we match them with good mentors on the campus, and the program helps them to build their research and also to try to build a collaboration or ties between that scholar and the mentor, because the program gives the mentor a chance to return to visit their colleague in the home country and hopefully develop some programs. We've had 7 of the Borlaug Fellows this last month. We've been having about 6 Borlaug Fellows per year during the last 6 years. And it is one of the most exciting programs that we have and gets a lot of faculty engaged in different areas. We have had in this last year Borlaug Fellows in food science, plant science, agricultural policy, and agroforestry. This particular picture is when some of them were at the World Food Prize, so they're not all Borlaug Fellows. You may recognize Norman Borlaug's daughter in the middle of that group, and the 2 on the left were our Borlaug Fellows, one from Ghana and one from Azerbaijan. The others were a graduate student from here and a Borlaug Fellow who was at Arizona State. But this, just a couple of examples of how programs develop out of this. Our professor in agroforestry has had one from Mali, and he developed from that a project using low-cost biodigester and connection with some integrated agroforestry systems. And that program had to be done in Senegal because of the changes in the political and economic or the military situation in Mali. We had one in FAPRI developing a policy analysis system in Bulgaria, which will go on for the next 2 years. And hopefully that will be sustainable like the one that we started about 10 years ago at University of Pretoria. So these are ways that Borlaug experiences lead to future collaboration. And I have to say, one of the most amazing things about this program and others that we've engaged is how well these people are selected. Whoever does the selection of these people is doing a tremendous job. Another exciting program that we had this fall was Faculty Exchange Program, which is a whole semester. And if you're not familiar with this, it's really bringing mid-career faculty people to a U.S. campus, and again, matching them up with mentors on the campus. In this case, we had two men from Kenya, one from Rwanda, one from Tanzania, and one from Uganda. And there were two in food science, one in plant protection, and two in entomology. So they were matched with different faculty. And they spent time, their requirement for them was to develop 3 courses, either new or revamped courses, but most of them did more than that. They were very energetic. They actually worked with about 16 different faculty members because there was also a teaching seminar. There was also some work in professional ethics. And these men developed a very close cooperation, very close partnership with their mentors and with other faculty on the campus that they have worked with. And this program also provides for the mentors to go back and visit their colleagues in the home country at some later point. These again were fantastic people. I mean, all of the mentors that work with people realize that we gain as much or more from them as they gain from us. And we think that most of these connections will continue for a long time. I keep going the wrong direction. Another World Food Prize picture. This is, you may know, those of you that are World Food Prize participants, that all the Borlaug Fellows who are in the US during that time try to are encouraged to come to that event. And we went with the Borlaug Fellows and the FEP Fellows together. And that, of course, is a wonderful opportunity for them not just to learn and see a lot of new people and information, but to develop their own professional networks. And while I'm on this slide, I want to mention this person on the left, Christy Copeland, who really does all the work in our International Programs Office. She's the one who makes this happen, because I'm just a part-timer in this program. Bringing people together like this was building networks, not just among the people on this campus, but across other campuses and organizations that they got to see while they were there. We also often bring the Borlaugs and the other groups that we have working together to places like the Danforth Center, other science research institutions, farms, markets, cultural events. The first picture that they were standing in front of that poster that was at a Tomato Days festival that was held somewhere out near our farm. And the other type of group I want to mention are the Cochrane and Scientific Exchange programs. These are shorter, usually they are 2 weeks in length, and they're very intensive programs of training in a particular function, very much tailored to the group. This one, you notice Handy was the teacher of this. No, this was a group selected carefully as the Vietnamese who are going to be engaged in developing regulations for biotechnology in Vietnam. So they had their training around the biotech regulation issues for 2 weeks, and that was, again, focused on getting them prepared for the development of the government's regulatory systems for biotechnology. We have about 5 of these kind of training programs a year. We've had about 50 over the last 10 years. It's another way that we connect with scholars and with practitioners from around the world. And finally, I want to mention two projects that we have with Templeton Foundation. And this is a way of also connecting with partnerships that we have developed before, and bringing to some particular issue the expertise that we have on campus. This is the project on assessing the risks and benefits of GM cassava. Some of you know that Danforth Center is working on that, but they're working on the scientific side, and this group is working with Danforth, but working more on the costs and benefits to the producers, to the communities, looking at unanticipated consequences. Really, it's employing the community of practice or participatory research approaches to be sure that the potential users or adopters of these techniques have an opportunity to be engaged in the decisions about their adoption. On this picture, there is Corinne Valdivia in the middle, who's sitting back there, and she was engaged in the small ruminant CRISP way back in the early 90s, which was part of a big University of Missouri project in Kenya that went on for about 10 years, and was establishing CARI as an institution that now all of us have an opportunity to work with. And the woman in the right-hand side of that picture is a PhD in ag economics from the University of Missouri, and she's now a professor at Kenyatta University. So these are old connections that continue and partnerships that grow. Finally, the other Templeton project is in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, and this is also a community of practice, but it's focused on the assessment of adoption for innovative technology in maize. So we have groups of farmers that are growing open pollinated maize, hybrid maize, and GMO maize in the same areas. We have 3 people there right now who are working with the project, and we are working there with a KwaZulu-Natal Agricultural Union. And this connection also goes back to one of these programs that we hosted a group which included the CEO of this KwaZulu-Natal Agricultural Union. And when this opportunity came along with Templeton, we talked to her, and we worked out an agreement to do this project together. So again, building partnerships from the ground up, and then going from maybe an individual connection to a community connection. And farmers in this project are not just planting crops, but they're learning more about soil testing. This is a soil test demonstration about herbicide use, and hopefully something about pesticide use as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Willie. Let's give him a hand.